So 1950s, my grandparents came to the United States. They're from a small town called Pita Milad, which is close to Naples, Napolitan, and there's a lot of different ways to put it. Basically, they were looking for work. They started in the restaurant industry, started getting some small jobs here and there, worked for a couple different Italian restaurants. Luigi's was one of them. Rosa's was another one. Rosa's was known for their calzones and pizzas, I believe. Basically, in 1962, they'd saved up enough money, and they opened up a small takeout shop of their own. It was called Mike's Pizzeria. They worked for many years. The restaurant was successful. One thing led to another. Second generation had gotten involved, which would be my dad's Peter. I have an Uncle Tony and an Uncle Michael. They've all been in the business their whole life as well.
Yeah.
Basically, in 1975, he decided to expand, and he bought the building where we are today. I'm now third generation. I'm 30 years old, and we're still keeping the same tradition going. No, they retired. They're 75 years old, and they've handed it off to my dad when he was in his 30s. He's now 55, and like I said, I'm pretty much, me and my cousin Luigi, we work here now, and we're the next to take over. Basically, 95% of our kitchen is homemade, scratch cooking. So from day to day, I mean, you start in the morning with, we're baking our bread daily. We chop our salad in the morning. Our lunch rush, we'll get going. We do lunch. We do prep in the middle of the day if we have to. Our lasagna is homemade. That's weekly. We do 80 gallons of our homemade meat sauce at a time. That's another weekly chore. We do have an imported ravioli machine. Back in the day, my grandparents did do raviolis by hand, and then they spread them out on the table, and they had the rolling pin and all that stuff.
Wow.
Now we have, we've gotten to where we do need a machine. We do need a little help. We'll end up making homemade raviolis through our Capitani machine. We'll do about 3,000 at a time, and we do a few different flavors. So we're always constantly running the ravioli machine as well.
Yeah.
Prep doesn't stop here. So between the rushes, lunch and dinner, there's always something to do. We're rolling meatballs by hand. We're making our sausage links by hand here. Anything that we can prepare on site, we do, because it basically allows people to come have a dish that they're familiar with maybe having at their nonna or grandma's house. We're not a huge fine dine type of place or anything like that, but like I said, best way to describe us is you'll get a fresh plate, a hot plate, hot sauce, basically, like I said, that would remind you of like a Sunday meal. Same recipes since 1962. Little things get altered. Some of the dishes will get altered on the menu, as far as some of the sauces and some of the dishes that we do. But as far as the standard recipes, our ravioli mix, our meat sauce, our meatballs, things like that, we don't even mess with them. It's hard to say, and it's hard to pick one. Our chicken fettuccine Alfredo is always a popular dish. We're using fresh cream, the manufacturing cream, the Parmesan cheese in it. I mean, it's a real heavy, thick dish, and everyone loves it. Best thing working with family is that you always know that they're going to be here. You always know that, this is home base. Like I said, it's home away from home. We spend, between me, my dad, and my cousin, we spend a lot of time, many hours during the week. We take pride in what we do, and I think that's the best part, is that you can always count on each other to get this stuff done. You can't always count on, I shouldn't say you can't always count on it, but when you're working with people that aren't family,
yeah.
You feel that it's different. So I guess there's there's love that's there, and everyone wants to make sure that things are going out correctly and things are being done right. I just think you need to have your eyes and hands in it all day, every day. And I know it's time consuming, but that's what also has gotten us this far, is family being on premises, daily.
Yeah.
There's not much time for vacations. There's not much time for holidays. People are celebrating all their events here. And, we're responsible for making their memories, last. And people have traditions of coming into Mike's Pizzeria and, saying, wow, we come here every Christmas Eve, or, we come here every, night before Thanksgiving or whatnot. And they have a good time and they remember it. and the traditions keep going with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it feels good. But without us here daily, they come here to see the family. So, if you start setting your kitchen up with just, I would say, random cooks and employees, they might not handle it the same way and be as welcoming.
Yeah.
Therefore, like I said, family on site, once again, is extremely important because people want to come, they want to see the owner, and they want to, they want to kind of, rub elbows a little bit with them and let them know that they're here, and as well as we let them know that we're here. We do have Sunday dinners once in a while. We don't do it as often as we like. People have moved out of town. Everyone has busy schedules, and a lot of the times that we do get to spend together are the holidays. But when we do get together, everyone picks up where they left off. 100% of it. 100% restaurant talk. 100% of the time, nothing changes from whether you're talking about, hey, do you remember that customer John came in? He always gets the sausage sandwich. Sausage sandwich John, or pepperoni pizza John, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The stories always relate back to the restaurant because there's 15 people, 20 people that all can relate to growing up in this place, or at one time or another even still know the customers that are coming in nowadays that were coming in before.
Right.
So the conversation never stops.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't make a mistake, and no one will let it go either. Depending, everyone has a way of telling you how they like it. As far as I think it might just be Italian culture.
Yeah.
But no, don't do it this way. I like it this way. I mean, there's always good arguments too on how to do things right and how to do things wrong, but conversation of the restaurant never stops.